The Ballad of Salvation Bill. 'Twas in the dreary middle of a hard-boiled Arctic night. I was lonesome as a loon. So if you can, imagine my emotion of amazement and delight when I bumped into that missionary man. He was lying lost and dying in the moon's unholy leer, frozen from his toes to fingertips. The famished wolf pack ringed him, but he didn't seem to fear as he pressed his ice-bound Bible to his lips. 'Twas the limit of my trap line, the cabin miles away, and every step was like a stab of pain. But I packed him like a baby, and I nursed him night and day till I got him back to health and strength again. So there we were, benighted in the shadow of the pole, and he might have proved a priceless little pard if he hadn't got to worrying about my blessed soul and a quoting me the Bible by the yard. Well, there was I, a husky guy, whose God was nicotine, a coffin nail, a fixture in my mug. I'd wrap him in the pages of a pulpwood magazine and hack him with my jackknife from the plug. For oh to know the bliss and glow that good tobacco means, just live amongst the everlasting ice. So judge my horror when I found my stock of magazines was chewed into a chowder by the mice. A woeful week went by, not a pill I had, me that would smoke my 40 in a day. I sighed, I swore, I strode the floor. I thought I would go mad. The gospel plugger watched me in dismay. My brow was wet, my teeth were set, my nerves were rasping raw. But still, that preacher couldn't understand. In despair I wrestled there when suddenly I saw the volume he was holding in his hand. Then something snapped inside my brain, and if with an evil start, the wolfman in me woke to rabid rage. I saved your lousy life, says I. Now show you have a heart and tear me out a solitary page. He shrank and shriveled at my words. His face went pewter white. 'Twas just as though I'd handed him a blow. And then he seemed to grow and swell to heaven's height, and in a voice that rang, he answered, "No. If I should let you desecrate this holy word," he said, "my soul would be eternally accursed. So go on, Bill. You can take it. You gotta kill me first." Well, now, I'm no foul assassin, though I'm full of sinful ways. I knew right there the fellow had me beat. I felt a yellow mongrel in the glory of his gaze, and I flung my foolish firearm at his feet. Then wearily I turned away and dropped upon the bunk, and there I lay and blubbered like a kid. "Forgive me, pard," says I at last, for acting like a skunk. But hide the blasted rifle, which he did. He also hid the Bible, which is maybe just as well, because the sight of all that paper gave me pain. And there were crimson moments when I thought I'd go to hell, just to have a single cigarette again. So there we were, day after day, rooted dark and deep, until one night I thought I'd end it all. Then rough I roused the preacher who had stretched pretending sleep, with his map of horror turned towards the wall. "Look here, my pious pal," I says, "I've did it long enough. Behold, I've bit some strychnine in a cup, enough to kill a dozen men. Believe me, it's no bluff. Now watch me, 'cause I'm gonna drink it up. You've seen me bulging by despair through countless days and nights. Now you'll see me squirming as I die. You're not to blame. You played the game according to your lights, but how would Christ have played it? Well, goodbye." With that I took the poison cup and raised it to my lips, but he was on me with a tiger bound, and as we rocked and socked in wild and savage grips, the poison cup went crashing to the ground. "Don't do it, Bill," he loudly shrieked. "Maybe I acted wrong. See, here's my Bible. Use it as you will. But promise me you'll read a little as you go along." "You do, then." "Take it, brother. Smoke your fill." And so I did. I smoked and smoked from Genesis to Job. And as I smoked, I read each blessed word, while in the shadow of his bunk I heard him sigh and sob. And then a most peculiar thing occurred. I got to reading more and more, and smoking less and less, till just about the day his heart was broke. "Here, take it back, me lad," I says. "I've had enough, I guess. Your paper makes a mighty rotten smoke." So then and there, with plea and prayer, he wrestled for my soul, and I was racked and ravaged by regrets. But God was good, for lo, next day there came the police patrol with paper for 1,000 cigarettes. So now I'm called Salvation Bill. I teach the living law and ballyhoo the Bible with the best. And if a guy won't listen, I sock him on the jaw and I preach the gospel sitting on his chest. Thank you.
No, I can't turn it off because your buttons aren't working.
Turn it off up there. Here's me.